Hey guys, welcome to the CQ review. My name is Q. I will be your co-host today.
I'm Clay, and today we'll be reviewing a cigar, the Undercrown 10.
The Undercrown? Crown?
Crown.
Like the stuff that I used to eat. Colored stuff?
I don't know, did you call them crowns or crayons?
Crowns? I don't know. I just said I'm hungry and I ate it.
Which color is your favorite color?
Blue.
They have a different taste?
Yeah, they do actually. The reds kind of have a more reddish taste, and the purples kind of have more of a bluish hint to them. You know what I mean?
No, but I will agree.
Okay.
So I thought we start this off with a couple would you rather.
I would love nothing more than to poke into my personal life and ask harsh questions.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
That's the wrong list.
Uh-oh. Do I want to see that list?
I don't think you'd want to talk about it.
Fair enough.
Okay. We'll start with this.
Okay.
Would you rather have a nose that never stops growing or ears that never stop growing?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, Clay.
So,
would
you rather be Pinocchio or Dumbo?
Okay, but Dumbo flew. Think about that. He flew.
There may be a point if they continued growing
That they get too big.
Well, no, that you could just like become like a flying squirrel.
Oh. With my ears just kind of like. But how loud did everything get? I don't know. Would it amplify your hearing? You ever take one of those like little funnels, stick it in your ear, like put up against a wall or a cup?
Like in the old movies?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Anyways, I guess it amplifies the sound. I wouldn't know at all. I've never tried it. Okay. That's a tough question. I guess my second point to that would be, I guess it depends on how much they grow. Because if it's like an inch a year, like, that would kind of suck. Because like my nose would be like,
It's true. It'd make it really hard to get around.
yeah, and then my ears, I mean, they would just,
It's really big.
or is it like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because I figure the rate of growth is an important factor.
Okay, so let's say that it grows a 1/4 inch every year. Your nose grows a 1/4 inch, and your ears get a 1/4 inch bigger, all the way around. Every year.
Okay.
So it would take 4 years, and you'd have an inch. I would have to go with ears, still.
Yeah.
I think those benefits would because like at some point you're not going to be able to drive a car with your nose, right?
You can get a bigger car to fit your ears in.
Right. Yeah, because at some point you're gonna have to open the door and you have to go in like this and then like sit down. You have to sit like all the way back,
Or maybe you look out the sun.
sunroof. That's it. That's it. Stick it up like this and then kind of that's not a bad idea.
You can make it work.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, definitely ears.
Yeah, I think it's the best choice.
Yeah.
Not because I chose it first.
Also dampens any potential romantic options as well. That's
Yeah.
a really long nose.
Yeah, I feel like long noses. Yeah,
It's kind of kills the vibe.
it would kill the vibe.
Yeah.
It'd kill the vibe.
Ooh, here's a good one.
Okay.
Would you rather
Mm-hmm.
have to be naked at work
Okay.
for an hour
Oh, okay.
or be dropped off 2 miles from your house naked and have to try to get home?
If he jumps up, man, he's doing it. There he is. Guys, welcome to Chester.
Say hi, Chester. Oh, you fell for a hole.
Lovely cow. Okay, so 2 miles from home, without clothes, have to get home.
Or at work for an hour naked.
Okay. I'm careful what I say.
Here's my thought.
Okay, go for it. You lead.
I could potentially get home in less than an hour. The problem is, anyone who might see me
Would know you.
would definitely know me.
Yeah.
And at work, they would definitely know me too.
Right.
You're confined to an hour for sure at work.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not very impressive. The last time I ran a mile, I think I did it in 13 minutes. So, like, technically, if I ran 2 miles, which would not be physically possible for me, but if I ran 2 miles straight without stopping, I could theoretically do it in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
That's half the time. However, I think I would take my risk based off where I live to do it by my house. Because if I lived in town, totally different story.
Yeah, we're a little more rural area.
Yeah.
Now if it was downtown,
You'd fit right in. You'd fit right in downtown, to be honest with you.
that's true.
And at some point, you would get a free ride.
How do you mean?
Like to jail, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A one-way ride.
A one-way ride. Like you're not coming back at it. But
I got you.
so yeah, I choose home. Definitely.
Yeah. Given our current locale,
Yeah.
go with the home option.
I think it's better option.
Okay.
So what do we have? The Perdomo Underground 10? Is that what you said?
Drew Estate.
Drew Estate. What did I say? Perdomo?
Underground 10.
That's because
Yeah.
I think we have the box there, right?
Oh yeah, we have a Perdomo box.
Perdomo box. That's why.
Right.
That's where I got it.
So let's where we got them in this box right here.
I think so. If it's not, this is going to be really awkward. The Holy Grail.
Yeah, it should be like a light shining.
Are we going to go and grab this? That one more. It's kind of cute.
Okay. So it's got the
Underground.
classic underground undercrown.
Say crown? Oh, it is
Yeah.
crown.
Yep.
I thought you were saying
Yeah.
underground. That's why, like, I was thinking, like, oh, did they bury the other 9 underground before they got this guy?
Yeah.
But,
No, that's right. I could see where you're.
yeah.
So, do you want to talk about where we got these?
Where we got them?
Yeah. Or like
You take the reins.
and stuff.
Right, go for it.
Okay. So, this particular cigar came
man.
in the
My wrapper.
July monthly box from Cigars International. So, being that there were 2 in the box that I received, we thought it'd be a great one. And if you happen to get that box, you'd be welcome to smoke that along with us as we review this.
Now, note, we're not sponsored by Cigars International. Cigars International, if you're watching this, we would love for you to sponsor us. That'd be phenomenal, actually.
Yeah. No, they do an awesome job, really. So
do.
I got the double-decker box, which means they send 4 different types of cigars, but 2 of each. So
Yeah.
this is definitely well worth the small amount you pay.
And how much is it? How much does it run you a month for that?
That box is about $35 a month,
What would you say it's worth it?
I think. Oh, at least.
Yeah.
These 2 cigars alone are at least $20 worth, and there's another 6 in there.
That's worth it.
The value you can get on
100%.
this is just
Phenomenal. So I believe these are a Toro, right?
Yep,
That's what they
the Toro size. It's pretty common size. I think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Good ring gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. So
What's the wrapper on this guy? Do you know?
the wrapper on this guy was a Mexican San Andreas leaf. I honestly don't know too much about that leaf. Pretty familiar with a couple others, but now the binder, which is the part under the leaf, is a Connecticut broadleaf, which is my absolutely favorite wrapper type because it's very chocolatey and
Ooh, it's one of those chocolatey ones.
yeah. So this should be a little tasty guy right here. So
I'm very excited for that.
we can say we go ahead and set a light, man, get into this. What do you go with the whole punch?
I am going with the whole punch. I actually, you know, we've adventured in quite a few of the different cuts, from the V cut to the standard cutter and the whole punch, and I've just found that the whole punch is what I like the most out of all of them. Now I don't mind having a cut on them. I mean, we were just away for a week, and I used cutter the whole week, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
I think it's just still up to preference. What you like.
Well, and that's all the debates and things I've heard. The guys that I respect their opinion, they all say it just comes down to preference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong. If there was, I don't think we'd have as many options. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
To be honest. So, got my nice little 4-burner.
Yeah, right. You don't even have to
jet.
You don't even have to spin that thing around.
Oh, dude, I hold it in one place and it lights it. Oh, are you still lighting with your single jet? Wow.
It's triple.
Oh. All right. Didn't know you upgraded there.
I have more than one lighter, Quinton.
That's right. You're not broke like me.
Nope.
Hey, but I did buy that really cool Ace of Spades lighter.
Oh,
that
is neat. You'll have to show that sometime.
Kind of pointless. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never lit a cigar with it. Okay. Have you ever had one of these before?
I have not. I have heard many good things about the Undercrown.
So right off the bat, and this could just be from my initial light. Yeah. You could tell me if you're not. I'm getting some spice on this guy. Are you?
Yeah. And honestly, the first kind of quarter inch of a cigar, usually it kind of, it'll change quite a bit. It's pretty dynamic still. And once it kind of mellows out, then after that first quarter inch or so, then you'll kind of get more of the flavor. But right off the hit, there's
this. I mean, you haven't had it, and I cannot wait for you to try it. But what I like the kind of, it's not necessarily heat, but what I'm pulling in reminds me a lot of the Rosa Sharon in Southern Draw. It really does. It really does.
Describe that as like a pepper.
A kind of a pepper. Yeah. It tastes. I mean, to put it in very lamest terms, it tastes like I pulled my tongue out and poured some pepper on it. Yeah. And it was just like, there it is.
You'd say you're tasting pepper.
Yeah, I would.
That's a pretty common kind of tasting note, if you will. So yeah, as far as taste, it's hard to get an impression this early in.
Yeah.
Initially, though, I did, or just as far as other initial impressions, I had a little bit of splitting up here at the cap.
Yeah.
Again, that could have been, I mean, they've only been in my humidor for a few days after they were shipped. Or it could have been how I cut it. Maybe I was a little too forceful and cracked it. I'm not.
Yeah. I had a
docket on what I think of it.
I had a little bit of splitting here on my wrapper. And judging that we both have it, and I mean, I would venture to say it wouldn't be manufacturer error. I mean, I think was this part of the pack that set out a little bit?
Yeah, they were out. They were out a couple of days because we were out of town.
So
very well could just not quite be back up to the right humidity, but
even if it's not, it tastes great. Yeah, that was something. I mean, so far, I mean, I have a great even burn.
Yep.
Around it.
Mine's starting to kind of mellow out now.
Is it?
Yep.
Taste it. Yeah. It okay, so you're talking about what was the binder? It was a Connecticut
broadleaf.
Prod? Broad.
Yeah.
It's not prod.
Broad. Yeah, broad.
Gotcha.
Like you're from Boston, you're talking about a woman.
Oh, she broad.
Broad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Broads.
Gotcha. I've been trying to recently affect my like mob boss or like mob like voice.
Yeah.
For no particular reason. It's just been something that
I don't think you need a reason to to venture into something like that, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
I thank you for your support. Honestly, I really do. Have you heard me talk about Apex Legends at all?
A little bit.
Okay. I played video games. Disclosure.
I'm a recovering addict.
It's not an addiction, okay? Because here's the thing.
It's a lifestyle.
It's not a lifestyle, but hear me out on this. Hear me out on this.
Okay.
Some people would smoke a cigar a day, right?
Yeah.
This is smoke a cigar a day. I wouldn't say that's an addiction by any means. I would call that a tradition.
Yep.
And honestly, tradition just means you repeat something out of family inheritance, or own self needs, or whatever.
Kind of your habits or routines or things like that.
Yeah. So I don't consider anything I have an addiction. I only consider it a tradition. And why break tradition? You know what I mean?
So how often until it's an addiction? Are we like
it's only an addiction if you try to break it.
It's true. Like my good friend said, AA is for quitters.
And we don't quit, do we?
Nope.
I'll drink to that. Water. Dude, I'm gonna have this whole left side of me soaked by the time we get. There's so much water. By the way, guys, it is like 8 million degrees in the middle of July. I was surprised we're sitting outside. It's actually cool.
We're just that dedicated.
We are that dedicated. We're dedicated to our traditions. We will sweat.
We're like a beefaholic. Smoker. Oh, jeez. Okay. So let's hit, now that we're kind of past that quarter inch.
Yeah.
Kind of revisit what, I'd say we're into what, a lot of people reviewing cigars will break up the, analysis of it or the evaluation into thirds.
Yeah.
So I'd say we're getting into this first third now. We're everything's kind of mellowed out a little bit from that initial light. So
yeah,
resume your thoughts on it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's definitely mellowed out a lot from that initial. Yeah. Now I still get a hint of it.
Mm-hmm.
I still get a hint of that pepper. I'm kind of getting that sweet, chocolatey feel, kind of more. I mean, I would dare to say more of a dark chocolate type of.
Yeah, not sweet,
pepper.
but it's a rich.
Yeah, it's a rich.
Exactly. That's pretty common. I would guess that Connecticut broadleaf. That happens to be my favorite wrapper, so I'm a little more familiar with it.
Yeah.
But obviously, if the Mexican San Andres is the actual wrapper, which is what you see on the outside,
right?
It's a pretty dark boy too, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I mean, and you showed me some that you've had in the past that, dude, they were borderline black from how dark those wrappers were.
Yeah, so definitely like a Maduro type of cigar.
Yeah.
That darker, chocolatey richness.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a lot of strength, but that more fuller strength. Yeah, no, I'm getting a lot of the same. A little bit of pepper.
Yeah.
Kind of a smooth, rich chocolate.
I'm very curious. Now I don't know what it's going to do, because I don't know much about the cigar itself. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, kind of, and what I would want to see is that richness kind of pull out in that second third.
Okay.
Kind of pull out that maybe die down a little on that pepper spice type of flavor, pull in that kind of richness to pull back into that pepper. And I'm honestly basing this off of my experience with the Rosa Sharon.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. I had that real nice hay kind of alfalfa pepper boy.
That light, or kind of, those are usually pretty typical flavors.
Yeah. I had that for the first third and mellowed out and became this like super just kind of light. I mean, I wouldn't call it breath of air, but it's kind of what it felt like. And then it kind of pulled back into that spice towards the end.
Like frolicking in a field of daisies.
Yeah, like I was in the daisies, and I like took my shirt off and was twirling around and
filming a slow motion scene from The Sound of Music.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I'll have to think of something as descriptive for this cigar. I've never even had the actual roast shared, so
I know
totally vicariously living through your description.
I know, I am. Every time we go to our local cigar shop, I look for it. I do every time. Every time we've went, that's the first place I'm
hard to find it. The local ones.
It really is.
I was gonna know, and I have a little bit of the crooked burn on one side, but again, kind of factoring in that.
Yeah,
these may still be a little dry.
Yeah, mine's not necessarily.
So I may do a touch of it at one point, but it's not like
yours
to the point where it's an issue or essence.
Waiter. I should have snapped. That was bad.
Still.
Yeah, my friend Seabass over here decided to pick up the tab for us.
Yeah. You should know that movie reference. If you don't,
yeah, I'm very sorry.
Go educate yourself.
Yeah.
The number.
Yeah. I also just want to apologize. Sorry for the interruption. I don't know where we left off or where the recording stopped, but if it doesn't make sense, it's because we don't make sense.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. But
I'm a few crowns short of the full box, and
that was my fault.
He's a few tools short of the tool shed.
Yeah, so. The crowns is my fault for your case because I ate them.
You know who else eats a lot of crowns?
Who?
Allegedly.
Who?
Marines.
Yeah, I heard that. Have you ever told that to Murray?
Yes. We work with a couple. And they embrace the stigma very well.
Do they? Do they pop crowns every time you see them? It's like typically you see guys, right? They pull out of their pocket, they got a cigarettes, and they got to wake up
or hold up in their sleeve.
Yeah. Do they do that with a box of crowns instead?
Like randomly pull one out and start packing it.
Start smacking it and then just pull it open. Slowly take off the wrapper. Take a bite.
I've got a great joke for you.
Tell me.
A dad joke, if you will.
Have at it. I got the dad bod. Hit me with a dad joke.
So a scientist is studying flies.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, as a scientist does, he writes down his observations for the fly.
Yep.
So he takes the fly and pulls the legs off. Says, fly, fly, fly. Fly flies around.
Yep.
Makes a note. Fly can still fly without legs. So next he pulls off the little antenna on the fly.
You think they would? Do they like so? Oh,
well, he pulls off some other extremity. It's not essential to the flies. Survival. It's fly, fly, fly. Fly flies around. He writes down his notes. Next, he pulls off the wings of the fly and says, fly, fly, fly. Nothing happens. He writes down, fly cannot hear without wings. It's probably the first dad joke I've ever heard from my dad.
Oh my gosh, what was that?
He laughed out loud every time he told me.
Did he really?
He was like, of course I had the same reaction of like,
really?
This in my face. He gestured.
Hi, buddy.
You want to?
There's a fly back there if you want to get him. Okay. Or not. Yeah.
So real quick.
What kind of that?
I would say we're hitting the second third.
Yeah.
We're into the second third now. How well you can see this, but any changes or anything that you've noticed so far, or?
No. Well, I would say that the spiciness of kind of that pepper, that feeling has kind of definitely mellowed out for me.
Yeah.
I've retro-held a little bit, haven't really gotten that. What I have gotten, which to my utter amazement that I love, is I kind of got that, I'm kind of getting that very chocolatey flavor just kind of, and it doesn't, it's not just there, it resonates. It sits and it's there. You know what I mean? It's not like a...
So kind of the, if this were like, a drink of some sort, like the finish of it, I guess. So after you've blown the smoke out, you can still kind of...
It's on your palate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's on, like I can take my tongue and kind of run it off like the roof of my mouth, and I'm still getting it. It tastes like I just had a piece of dark chocolate in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
So you just say that spice is mellowed out?
Yeah.
Much richer still.
Very, very.
One thing... Oh, go ahead.
No. Please.
So one way I've kind of noticed and kind of judged the quality of a cigar, for me, this may be a personal thing, is if the cigar just completely loses flavor as it goes, and you just kind of get that ashy, some people call it acrid taste, or acrid. I don't know. But, and so I'm really not getting any of that at all. It's still very, very present flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
So I would say my initial thoughts on that are just saying that it's a pretty high quality cigar.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, sorry, Justin. Dude is sprawled out at my feet.
In which looking at just this little pamphlet here for a 5-pack, 50. It's about a $10 cigar.
Yeah.
Right in that $8 to $10 range. I feel like there's a huge variance of quality to where you can kind of get like I'd probably pay $8 for this, or you can still get that like, whoa, I'd pay $20 for this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly until we finish this where that would be, but for a $10 cigar, it's
I mean, I am
excellent so far.
I love it. I mean, I definitely, when going out to the local cigar shop or someplace like that, like I would definitely look for this guy. Like if I just went in and didn't really know what I wanted, so far this would be one that I would grab.
Yeah.
Just to
it's going to be
there's going to be a good quality cigar. And quite honestly, I mean, based off kind of our assumptions of what our first initial lights and kind of the wrapper kind of cracking and peeling a little bit, I don't think that these guys are up to like their correct humidity as they should be.
No, there are some guys, just as a general precaution, will rest to their cigars, is what they call it. Close to like several weeks sometimes, just to make sure it has time to... Part of that's the humidity, I guess. I don't know what other factors play into that. I'm not that much of a connoisseur by any means, but...
Right.
But yeah, it probably needs some more time. So any of the construction issues, I'll kind of write off as
100%. But
our own fault.
Attesting to that, like still for this to have, because sometimes like I actually had, I can't remember what it was, but I had a cigar that was very dry.
Yeah.
Did not have enough humidity in the cigar for what it should have been.
Yep.
And I remember two things. I remember it burning super quick.
Yeah.
And tasting horrible.
Yeah, pretty much just like ash.
Exactly.
You lick the bottom of the fireplace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also having trouble keeping it lit, which was weird. But it was like, it was
kind of weird for...
It was weird because I remember having to...
It's a weird thought, I guess.
Yeah.
I think something's dry, it would burn.
It would burn super easy. But what was happening is that I was pitting the center. The center was, I was getting like a, when a volcano erupts and it leaves like that center portion kind of cave.
That shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what was happening inside. Like I was pulling the center pit just in further, and my outer wrapper was not staying lit.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a term for that called tunneling.
Okay.
Where it'll start to do that. And sometimes it'll even kind of deviate off to the side of the cigar, and you might even get a hole burning off to the side that's way up from where your burning line is. But that could be a mix of construction of the cigar, how it was rolled and everything, the humidity, or it's all factors. I mean, these are all premium cigars versus like machine made cigars, which would be like, you know, your gas station cigarillos and stuff.
Yeah.
These are all still a handmade product. So
Right.
it's made by humans. It's going to have some errors.
They always will. Will.
Not everyone can be as perfect as you are.
Glowing weak
I
cross.
was going to say me, but that seemed very narcissistic.
You know, that's something a narcissist would say. I actually found a question that I know what your answer is not going to be. Like right off the bat, I already know.
I don't have herpes.
Don't? Why do they go to the doctor?
You said you know the question or the answer right off the bat.
I paid $70 for that test.
Could have told you.
Gee, you could have saved me $70. That's why I have to eat crowns. Because of you.
Because your trauma, to bury your trauma in your crown.
Yeah.
Weird coping mechanism.
Yeah, most people just crawl into a smart hole, like dark hole, drink their life away, or a bottle. No, I go to a box of crowns. No, this is my favorite time of year. Back to school. Because crowns go on sale. You did not think that was going there, did you?
That should be a thing.
Back to school bash for cigars.
Call them crowns instead of crowns. They should do undercrowns on sale at the start of school every year.
They should. Okay, I've never seen this.
We need to get a hold of Drew Estate.
Yes, we do.
No.
That they need a back to school bash. They're undercrown.
Discounted undercrown.
For students,
crowds, close enough.
Same thing. Okay, let's take a quick break real quick. Let's get down a little bit more.
Yep.
And then we'll get back to you guys.
I feel like a 007 villain character. That guys has the little dog. Or the
Dude, his little dog. Dude, I think of Austin Powers. Just like,
yeah.
Sitting there. Have you tried giving him a hit?
I don't know that he would, you know, he's so uneducated. I don't think he would know how to properly draw off a cigar.
We should bring him some catnip sometime.
He's uncultured. Oh my gosh.
Dude, so they're like right there.
We'd have to clear this entire desk. All right, so I'm about to where I'm getting ready to peel this band off because it's getting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
That's fancy. It's actually two bands.
Really?
Yeah. It's the Undercrown logo and then like.
Oh,
the
dude.
background.
Bro, did you see the. Bro. It says gracias. It's on the inside of that.
There's a whole like story on the inside and fine print.
Read it.
And it's not a fortune cookie type story, which is good.
You will receive great news if you...
You will stumble upon riches. Stay down here, buddy. Says thank you for sharing our story, and then it goes. There's a whole interesting. It's like a whole paragraph long.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, and again, I'm spitballing here. I didn't actually look at this up.
Yeah.
The kind of the top of the line. Good. Okay. He's good. The top of the line for Drew Estate is called the Liga Privada.
Okay.
And which means something to the effect of like a either private league or like kind of exclusive, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of setting that.
Yeah.
That branding for it. So, let me get my wrapper relit there.
Yeah, mine, I kind of...
I may have let it go out. That's the cigars machine. But so the cigar rollers are generally allowed to smoke either an allotted amount of cigars or just keep smoking while they're rolling cigars.
Yeah,
that's kind of one of the perks of the job. Well, there we go. The Undercrown, from what I understand, kind of came about because they were smoking so many Liga Privadas on the rolling floor that they're like, all right, guys, we got to change this up. We're pretty much, it's like a one for you, one for me kind of. Although the rollers are incredibly fast and talented. Yeah. And using some of the real high-end tobacco and things from the Liga Privada, they kind of blended or naturally came up with the Undercrown, and it was sort of born as like what the rollers smoked while they were smoking, while they were rolling the Liga Privadas.
Huh. I wonder if, okay, I mean, you were saying like what was the top end? Drew Estate's top end?
Liga Privada.
Liga Privada. So I wonder, I mean, I don't know where they came up with the name Undercrown, but like one thing I think of is that's their top of the line. That's their king cigar.
Yep.
This is what came underneath the crown.
Yeah, I thought
was that
like the deputy sheriff.
Yeah. Dude, that's very interesting. I didn't.
Yeah, and I
didn't know that.
I kind of glanced over the story here on the band, and I didn't particularly see that. So I'd have to fact check it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of interesting little story to each of these sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. Created by torcedores who had to reduce their consumption of Liga Privadas. They banded together and crafted a blend for their own daily enjoyment.
There it is.
And you never really think of, there being a story behind some of these cigars and stuff. It's just neat. It kind of adds to the lore,
the
culture, the lore
of the cigar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say, I think the point where you're taking the band off, you're getting close to the band, definitely where we're hitting this final third of the cigar.
100%.
So we'll kind of touch upon or revisit some of our thoughts on it.
So far through the whole second third, and I would say I'm barely touching into the first third where I'm at. Still very mellow. I mean, still very smooth.
Mellowed spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, if you guys have ever had the Rose of Sharon, I don't even have it, but everybody watching us have the Rose of Sharon, I'm getting such like strong resemblance in that flavor change, or in that kind of, I mean, not really flavor, but I would say the amount of spice, the change of spice that I'm getting throughout it. Now, obviously, as you get closer to the end, you're getting closer to your actual ember.
Yeah.
Getting a little hotter.
That'll change a lot.
Yeah, and so some of what I may be drawing now, not necessarily will be spice, just heat.
Yeah.
That I perceive as spice, So, yeah. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I noticed just right there where I did a little retrohale, a little more spice again. It's kind of changed back.
Yeah.
I would say to kind of how the first third was, where you're getting the chocolate richness, but you're kind of getting that spice again.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I mean, it's still great flavor, very present flavor.
It is very present.
I've had some cigars where you can't even taste anything by the end, and you're still definitely tasting them.
Yeah, there's a point I mean, even I'll get about here, I feel like, on a cigar, and I'll be like, I maybe wrap out outside way to set it down, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to. It's not one that I'm just like.
I'm not ready.
It's not ready to set it down. Yeah, I'm ready to kind of finish that pool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to note, the viewers would be a little harder to see, so I had to relight about the bottom half of my wrapper because it just went out, and so I was probably about half an inch difference on my wrapper. I relit it, and it's pretty much back to even.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I didn't really do too much heaviness on getting that outside wrapper down to the same length.
Yeah.
But it's just naturally have done that, and I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah.
I was definitely
consistent.
Yeah.
Good construction of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
What are your final thoughts? I mean, we're kind of down to that end.
Yep.
Much more. I feel like we're going to be drawing a lot of heat And
catch the heat.
Yeah. And so what are your thoughts? I mean, it's a $10 cigar.
Yeah.
What do you think?
One of my good determining factors, I think, for whether I would smoke the cigar again at that price would be just that. Would I smoke this cigar again at that price?
Yeah.
If I were, like we talked about, you go to a cigar lounge and you're staring at it in the humidor, would I pick that cigar out and purchase it? And I would say this definitely meets that criteria for $10.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that I would get this easily
all day, every day. Yeah. There's nah, you are super sweet and loving. Okay. Do you want to sit down?
I think he ignored your
Do you want to sit down? Okay. That's fine. For the viewers watching, one of my favorite animals are cats. So I love cats, but I'm also very allergic to cats. And so while I love them, I try not to pet them too much because I die, essentially. Not really, but
you just die a little bit inside.
Inside every single time.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Those are always the people they're most attracted to for some reason.
They are the ones that have nothing to live for almost, kind of sense. That's very harsh. I have stuff to live for. I have cigars. Hey.
I kind of meant the people that they're allergic to them, but
that they're attracted to. Yeah.
I could a little different direction.
Oops. No.
Tell us how you really feel.
This is my therapy session, actually.
I'm going to benefit the cigars.
Therapy. Nah. Again, my earlier statement still stands. I was at a humidor and I was trying to pick out something.
Yeah.
I would definitely, for $10, around that range, I would have no problem picking up the cigar.
Yeah.
And even to somebody that I'm going with that maybe is unsure, this would be something I would recommend. Just to be like, it's really not a super harsh cigar.
Not a super strong.
Super strong, because there's some, you had some instances where it almost made you sick how strong they were.
I've gotten very sick before.
Yeah.
That was from my own operator here.
So you're right.
In every, pretty much breathing off the cigar, and it's just, that was probably one of the first ones I'd smoked. I just didn't know better.
Right. And I mean, if you've never smoked a cigar, there's tons of options and anything to fit your price budget, really. And if it's your first one, I definitely would not recommend going out and buying a 40. I wouldn't go above $20 plus if you've never smoked one before.
Yeah.
I would stick around the 10 to 15 range. I wouldn't stoop so low. Now, I would recommend, again, the Factory Smoke Sweets. One of my favorite, I would call budget cigars.
Yeah.
Around the $3-4 range. But if you're wanting, if I smoked that first, I wouldn't have been like, oh my gosh, all about cigars. But somewhere around this guy, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the first time trying a cigar, looking for something I would have no problem recommending this to someone to pick up.
To use. Yeah, definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No,
now that you're getting real close.
I'm getting close.
Yeah.
There's guys that I've seen guys take the little corn cob. What would you even call that?
Pipes? Corn cob pipes?
No, not a corn cob.
Oh, the thing that holds the corn. Yeah, the corn holder.
And they have to stick it on there just because it's so small their fingers are hungry. So I'm definitely not at that point, but I'm getting to where if you take a long draw, you're feeling the heat on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's still smoking good. So really good Maduro flavor cigar, which is a bit darker and you get those richer flavors. And man, if it's good down to this much, then and $10, like you said, excellent.
100% excellent. I mean, I'm excited. Try this again.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be something added to my regular smoke pile.
Yeah.
But guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a little bit longer episode. We're going to try to cut it down a little bit more in the future. It's our first one. give us grace or don't. Choice is yours. Honestly, it's up to you. But
smoke cigars at you.
Yeah, either way, we're still going to smoke cigars and have fun, and you can enjoy it or not. But man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on the podcast right now, check us out on YouTube at Bean C and Q Review. Or, if you're on your way to work or something like that and you can't watch a video, check us out. We'll be on Spotify, Apple Podcast, we'll be the C and Q Review. It'll be there. You'll get the same content, just you'll be able to see our beautiful face if you're listening. But I mean, I would personally sometimes listen, so I didn't have to see our face. But no, thank you guys so much. And again, I've had a blast. My name is Quinton.
And Clay.
This is the C&Q Review. Thank you so much.